Let's talk about rewards and mortality. And today I want to share with you three reflections. Stick around, and the third one is going to make you smile. All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. As I said, today's theme is all about rewards and mortality. You heard that right. And I thought we will focus on three simple frames, something that can help you in your life, especially as a healer, especially as a coach. And of course, if you happen to be a seeker at this point in your life. The first question, of course, is what's your reward? I've been thinking about this a lot, especially this week when we rolled out in one of our forums called the iHypnosis Life Movement. As the name suggests, this is that space where people come together to help each other, to encourage each other to have movement, more movement in their life. And it was beautiful to see. Today was day 5, and the sharing that people have been, reflecting on, and of course, typing into our community. And it got me thinking about this first frame, which is, of course, what's your reward? Because even psychology, human psychology proves that when you do have a reward, it doesn't have to be a really extravagant reward, but when you do have a reward that you give yourself, that is when things become more interesting. That is something that your brain remembers. And of course, when you have a reward, you look forward to having more of it. And for me, if you ask me what's my reward, I make it a point that being in this new movement that we've begun, I've told myself that once I have a certain amount of movement, I maybe do a yoga flow in the morning, only then do I look at my phone, only then do I actually check up and check in on my messages, or maybe even how the videos have been doing, or whatever uh, let's say draws my attention on the day. The second thing, of course, is remember to love this life. I say this because I'm sure even in your own life you come across moments when you realize that life is finite, meaning that there are a certain number of um, let's say a certain number of years or certain number of decades that we have. And as time progresses, maybe you hear stories of people that you knew who are either in a critical place or who have passed on. And it's a beautiful reminder that this is life. And so when you love this life, it makes life that much more meaningful. It makes living that much more powerful. And I was actually reminded of this in the morning when I was, for a moment, experiencing my truly experiencing my shavasana. And I was taken back to many years ago as well, when whenever I would be completing the flow, I would then, after 35, 45 minutes, lie down on the mat. And in those few moments, some days it would feel like as if this was a moment to reflect on mortality. And more importantly, not to sound morbid or morose, but instead to remember that this is a gift truly. And when you love this life, it makes life so much more meaningful. Which brings me to the third point, the third frame, which is remember to celebrate with others. The reason why we have multiple forums, I call them forums now because it truly is a forum where people get to speak, people get to share, and people get to be present. So to me, this really is a gift. Like in our movement forum now, people are actually celebrating their wins with each other. People are actually cheering each other on. And I know in the long run, this is what makes any movement not just successful, but it makes it sustainable. So, my question to you, of course, is as a healer, as a coach, and of course, as a seeker, you know, what are you doing and how are you celebrating with others? So, as always, these pods are made keeping you in mind as a micro dose on a daily basis to be reminded of life and the pleasures, the joys that we get to experience, and of course, when you get to share it with others, we only amplify it. So, having said all of that, of course, I want you to know that I truly appreciate you. And I really do look forward to seeing you in our community if you haven't already joined. And, there is, of course, the iHypnosis live experiences that happens every Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. So come and experience it for yourself. And of course, if you enjoy it, if you got value out of it, we do have many, many different programs that happen through the week and the weekend as well. And as I always like to say, come and be part of any, many, or all of them. As always, uh, wishing you the very best on your journey. And having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. I see we have a couple of you here live. Thank you, Raji, for joining in live. Raji says, wow, a hook. Thank you, Rahul, for the movement, and true to celebrate with others. Yeah, it really is a blessing, right? So this is, of course, that bonus. If you happen to be still listening on our um, Live Your Purpose podcast, then this is that bonus for you. Otherwise, of course, I will be back again with another one tomorrow. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.